Afternoon, everybody. How are we all doing? Afternoon, Paul. Welcome, Joe, to the private streams. Seen that one before? Joe's joined the private streams. You should too. Afternoon, Paul. Where is everybody else? There's no one here. It's Friday. It's Wednesday afternoon. Everyone's snoozing because the sun's out. We've got sun, everybody in the UK. Sun. Weird. Afternoon, Robert, Marco. So, yeah, Trump's at it again. Making America great. So yeah, we're just discussing in the Discord group basically the comments today so far. It's brilliant, isn't it? So basically, Trump came out today and said this was all Biden's fault. So yeah, Biden crashed the stock market. Nothing to do with me. Tariffs are going to be great. America's going to be brilliant. There's millions of businesses moving into the UK, into the US. They're not, but he thinks there are. So they may be planning to, but they certainly haven't. So this is Biden's stock market, not Trump's. Tariff will soon start kicking in, and companies are starting to move into the USA in record numbers. Please supply the numbers now and show me where they are record compared to previous years, because that's just rubbish, isn't it? Our country will boom when we have to get rid of the Biden overhang. This will take a while. This has nothing to do with tariffs, only that he has left us with bad numbers. But when the boom begins, it will be like no other. It will be tremendous. When the boom begins. 100 days in, we're still waiting for the boom to begin, Mr. Trump. And so far, what you've managed to do is, yeah, that. Anyway, we'll see what happens. It's incredible, isn't it? So, yeah, so let's have a quick look at how the stock market's done since Trump came into... Oh, it's falling down. Oh, dear. It's fallen down a bit more. So, Trump inauguration, stock market, booming. Anyway, we know what it's doing. Afternoon, Virginia. Afternoon, Johan. How we doing? Right, so today's news, we've had quite a bit of news today so far. We've had the CPI for the Australian dollar. So if we have a look at ADRs today, we've got Aussie New Zealand hit ADR. That's not Aussie New Zealand, that is. So we had an ADR hit on Aussie New Zealand to the upside. Absolutely beautiful reaction, straight back down again. I've got two positions on that at the moment, back to break even on it. So yeah, nice reaction off of ADR there. Swiss yen has also hit today. So Euro Swiss. Swiss yen has also hit today. I was looking at this. I'm long at the moment. I was looking at this for an exit, but I decided not to take it because there's not really enough profit on it at the minute. So that is your ADR hit to the upside. I'm not sure what to do with this at the minute. I'm very tempted. In fact, I've just made my decision up being here. So I'm going to stick a break even on this, only because tomorrow morning we have the Japanese interest rates coming out at 0.5. I don't think they're going to change this. There's no real reason why they should. But if they do increase that interest rate unexpectedly, the yen is going to power up really fast, which means the Swiss yen will drop very, very quickly. So at the moment, I've got a nice long on it. Target for me on this is 126, which is ADR. So my target is kind of up here somewhere, around about 150 ADR, up in these propulsion gaps, basically. So one way or the other, either this is going to stop out on the news tomorrow morning, or it's going to make it on the news tomorrow morning, potentially. So I'm just putting a break even on it. It's sideways at the minute. So there's no point in taking a risk on news. If it stops me out today or before the news comes out tomorrow, whatever. But it's a free trade. So I'm going to just see if we can get up to target on it. So that's your only other ADR today. It has reacted nicely at ADR. So we've got a lovely rejection at ADR there. But you know, it's not particularly exciting movement after it, is it, so far? So we'll see what happens. Reversal alert wise on that. You have had a reverse alert and it's retesting at the moment. So the reverse alert was basically on that candle, which made the high. So your retest is here. It's not, I mean, it's very odd M pattern, isn't it? It's not textbook at all. Aussie New Zealand was the other signal this morning that we looked at in the member stream. That is weekly hit to the upside. So that is your average weekly range put in there. That's come down beautifully. Pound odd also nice reaction at the weekly highs yesterday. That came down very, very fast there. And the pound New Zealand, which is basically the same pair. So these are almost identical. I've got shorts on the pound New Zealand at the moment, stuck at the moment. So that is your low of the week. That is the higher week, which is the average weekly range exceeded. So those are the only signals we got at the moment. 4 hours, there's nothing really to look at. Pound New Zealand is extended on the 4 hour, which is why I got in short. There is a chance it's going to push up into propulsion, and we're just going to do a retracement on that leg of a 50% retracement, which is fine. I'll just scale in. Might get 2 more on it, more likely 1. But if that happens, obviously we'll pull back down into here after we've got up to there. So that's an extended, nice initial entry you could take on that one. It is coming down now. We've also got the New Zealand dollar CAD 4 hour to the downside. This 4 hour reverse alert we had in a nice M pattern there. I wouldn't really be interested in longing that at the moment. I think there's a lot of potential pullback on this leg. This undoing of the tariffs was a huge leg. So, I mean, it is a signal to go long, but realistically, if you look at the next support, that's the origin of the move down here, this propulsion gap. There's literally nothing here to stop this coming straight back down again. There's no market structure in here you can really identify and say, yeah, there's a probability of a bounce anywhere. So I don't like it when it's like that. It looks like clear air to the downside to me, so I wouldn't be interested in taking that. New Zealand dollar, US dollar, very similar. New Zealand US, New Zealand CAD, very correlated. Again, origin of the move is all the way down there. This propulsion gap here, we bought out of that 3 times. We've just tapped it today and it's stalled. So it's nicely extended to the downside, but again, there's a lot of downward momentum on this. It's all going to be down to this thing. So if we look at the news today, obviously we've had the Aussie, which didn't really do an awful lot. We've had the Euro news. We had a positive outcome for the German CPI, which was a slight uptick, but not really anything moving off of it, as you can see. We are an ADR on it. Well, not quite. But this was the news here. It's just undone itself. So not really any directional bias off of that at all. We had the Canadian GDP coming out as a negative. So we were forecasting to 0. What we actually got was negative. You get 3 negative months in a row, you're officially in recession. So if we look at the previous results on that, they are very, very mixed. So not surprised the market hasn't reacted very much to it because it's just kind of undone that. This will drop, obviously, with the tariffs. So it's not really a shock. The US GDP, really bad. So we were forecasting from a 2.4 to a 0.2, we actually got a recessionary number. This is the advanced figures, but if you look at this, this is bad. It's the 3rd month on the trot that we've dropped, and we are now in negative numbers. So this is bad for the US dollar. So if we look at the Euro US, which is obviously the inverse of the US dollar, really doing nothing, is it? So again, another confirmation that news really is not important at the moment because the only thing moving this market is Trump. Fundamentals do not mean anything. I think name's gone completely out of my head. Canadian Prime Minister used to work for us. I've completely forgotten his name. My God, all I've got in my head is Bailey. He's probably talked today, hasn't he? What's his name? Somebody give me his name. Why has that got out of my head? Anyway. Carney. It came into my head exactly as you said that, Chris. Yeah, so Carney basically hammered it home yesterday by saying, you know, no way are we going to be the 51st state of America. And yeah, It's a new world order. We've basically, what he said was, we've had a great relationship and we've traded in the same way since the end of World War II. That is over, were his words. So basically, as same as we've said in the UK, the same as Europe have turned around and said is, fine, screw you, it's over. So all these tariffs he's putting in place mean absolutely nothing but destruction for the US economy, because everyone else is going off somewhere else. He's basically gone to all of his customers, hey, we hate you. And his customers have gone, right, well, then I'll go to someone that likes me. That's what the situation is at the moment. So I'm not surprised we're not seeing any movement off of any fundamentals at the minute, because the market is in shock. It does know not what to do with any of this information, apart from sell the dollar and sell the stock market, because there's absolutely no reason to buy anything at the moment, is there? Businesses in the US are not getting better. So fair move. And I said the other day in the live room on Monday, if this is the start of the next bear market, I said this will be the pullback leg before the start of the next rally down. Today's looking like a confirmation of that, isn't it? So yeah, to me this is the start of the next bear market, and it looks like it's kicking off today. So we'll see where we go today, but market obviously absolutely no confidence whatsoever in anything at the minute. Afternoon, everybody else. I haven't said hello to Chucks. Monkey, afternoon. So those are your RSIs, your ADRs. I've got a few trades on at the moment. I've banked quite a bit this morning as well off of the trades I had on. This Aussie US, probably going to hit target shortly, isn't it? 64. Target is pretty much ADR. Worth keeping an eye on this one. We are back in propulsion here. So we have bought this level once. We tried to buy it again, but it's blown straight through. So we're going to fill this propulsion gap. So it's whether or not I can get myself to ADR today on that. At the moment, the way it's going, slightly. So this US dollar at the moment is rallying a little bit. Canadian dollar is rallying harder. In fact, it's not rallying, is it? Why is that coming down so hard then? We've got a drop in the pound. Look at Aussie. Okay, so this is an Aussie drop. Isn't it? This is the Australian dollar coming down. Commodity markets coming down. New Zealand dollar will probably be coming down as well. Euro pumping against the New Zealand CAD down. Yeah, so commodity markets coming down. Means gold will be popping. So there we go. So that's what I've got at the minute. Right. So clean break short on the S&P, clean break short on the Dow. Oh, look at that for miss of the partial close. Executive decision being taken. I'm just going to move the partial close up to close out a partial on that because it just recoups all my loss from this morning. There we go. So the partial taken there. NASDAQ short as well. So short all three indices. I was down this morning. I didn't even see what the number was. I think I was down about 1,200 this morning. So currently sitting in 1,200 profit. That's how quickly it can turn around, obviously, with this loss recovery system. So if we get a nice push down into there, I'll take a partial on that one as well. And the NASDAQ, let me just have a quick look at levels on this. It's all happening a little bit too quick today. Yeah, so we've broken down. So next stop is here. Right, so we need to just watch this level here just to see how many buyers are stepping in at this point, just in case. A bit of a rejection there. I've got a trailer on at break even now, so I can't lose on the S&P. NASDAQ, let's just look at levels. Okay, so the NASDAQ is retesting this high at the moment, which is where we sort of accumulated there before we broke out. So there is potential for buyers to sit at that level as well. So just want to keep an eye on the NASDAQ. The Dow's obviously already protected and partially closed. So it'd be nice to get back yesterday's loss as well. See where we go. But definitely a big sell-off so far today. So if you've got any pairs you want to look at, let me know. At the minute, I've got Aussie New Zealand in shorts. That was, why did I take that one yesterday? Or was it the day before? Yeah, I think that was a 4 hour. Yeah, so that was a 4 hour RSI extension. And obviously we've got divergence now. So great example of divergence there. So we've got high, higher high, high, lower high. So that's bearish divergence, which is what's playing out here. So either the bulls that started that propulsion move are going to retest and add more size, or the bears that started this propulsion move down and re-added are going to re-add here. So this is your battleground between that propulsion and that propulsion. So one of those is going to break. So if it breaks to the upside, next short area will be somewhere around here. And then obviously up at the weekly, monthly highs. If it obviously breaks short, I'll be getting out down here in that propulsion gap. So that's Aussie New Zealand. I've got Aussie US short as well, which is obviously in profit at the moment. Swiss yen, as I covered already, I've got that long, just holding at break even on that for the news tomorrow. So new spike will either take me out or take me to profit. Euro pound, first entry taken on that yesterday. The reversal alert there on the 4 hour. That is a lovely divergence again. So that was the entry. Reversal alert on that yesterday or the day before. Can't remember. But yeah, that's playing out nicely. ADR now on that one. So target is 48. We're sitting at 36. Pound New Zealand is the only one I've got in drawdown at the moment, which is obviously rejecting quite nicely up there. So we are stuck at the minute today. We had a lovely push up. So first entry was taken on the RSI extension there, although it's a 4 hour RSI extension. Scaled in second position yesterday. We haven't got anywhere today, but that's coming down really hard now. Why is that dropping so hard against the New Zealand dollar? We've got the pound dropping as well. US market just selling the pound off for some reason. Can't see any real reason for that. This is probably just manipulation on the dollar. So pound CAD's just hit ADR. We've also had euro pound already. Quite fast today, isn't it? Okay, so we are rejecting that low. Okay, so S&P500 inside bar. Indecision after the bear move. Bulls trying to take control but couldn't break the highs. So we are still in a bear market. NASDAQ just about closed out the pre-bar high. So we have put a higher high in though. So it's kind of trying to form a bullish wedge at the moment. So it looks like the tech stocks are getting bought up. And we have inside bar on the Dow. So again, just a pause, accumulation down here. So we could still break short from that. So I'll leave that one running. Already taken profit on that anyway. Where we go. Yeah, wow, that pound's really selling off. A lot of movement today. First day of news we've had this week. So the other pair I've got on is the pound US dollar, which again is about to hit target. Literally, we are pips away. Come on, let's close live on air. Couple more. Down, that'll be closed. The target on this is 95 pips. pretty much just before it taps ADR, that will close. The EA will close that out automatically. It's like watching paint dry, isn't it? Afternoon, Chucks. What RSI setting are you using now, as RSI 10 doesn't seem to do much these days with the markets? RSI 2 should do more. I'm just going to close that manually. Give it a couple of minutes. How long we got? 8 minutes until my candle close. So it's going to be a strong close candle on the hourly. RSI 10 obviously is a faster mover. I'm at the moment I'm using RSI 21 on the hourly still. RSI 10 on the 4 hour. So you can't say it doesn't do much. Look at that. Kind of disproves your point. I'm using it, but why is the EA not close it out? It's obviously not quite there on the calculation. I'm just going to take it manually. So just closing pound US short. Yeah, so I'm still using RSI 10 on the 4 hour, but as I said, I'm not really using RSI for entries at the moment. I am using them as a kind of confirmation, but my reason for entry is not RSI based at the moment. It is sometimes, but I'm just taking manual entries at the minute based on support, resistance, and trying to deal with this at the moment and figure out where to go. So I get the feeling this US dollar, as I said on Monday, I said the US dollar is probably going to power up in the short term to correct some of this nonsense we've had with the tariffs. But long term, I don't see any recovery for the US dollar now because he's done the damage. Yeah, you can't turn around. There's no way he can turn around and go sorry to everybody in the world now and say, I didn't mean it. Sorry, I screwed all the economies of the world up. Sorry, I scared the crap out of every business. Sorry, I cost every business huge sums of money. Sorry, I made all those redundancies as businesses panic to sack people. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry I put Elon Musk in charge to sack everybody in the US. Sorry, it doesn't cut it. You just screwed up the world economy. And as Carney said yesterday, all the trade relations since the end of World War II, 80 odd years, 70 years, down the pan, not interested. So recovery for the US dollar is going to be very, very difficult. It's going to take a lot of persuading to get businesses into the US now. So I'm more interested in shorting against the dollar and see what happens. So if we get an RSI extension to the upside on something like pound US, I'm on it. But equally, I'm Aussie dollar CAD ADR. Equally, I'm not going to hold for long term on these because he could say something which immediately spikes it or dumps it. So I'm sticking with a one ADR of movement. I'll get out and then I'll look to get back in. So pound US dollar, for example, that I've just exited there. I'll be watching this for a pullback. So one or two things is going to happen on this pound US. We've got potentially market structure long. So we've got a low, a high, a higher low, a higher high, higher low. Yeah. So I'll wait for it to get its higher low in. And if it tries to pull back, I'll short that. But I'm not going to rely on the relative strength index specifically. But if the RSI is there, it's a confirmation. It's confluence. We're always looking for confluence. I want multiple reasons to take a trade. Yeah. We covered in this morning's live room in the members stream 3-bar reversals. So we covered a 3-bar reversal strategy in detail. So there's two, not particularly nice 3-bar reversals on that chart there. But if I see a 3-bar reversal at resistance with an RSI extension, that's belt and braces. There's many reasons as possible to take a trade at the minute, really. Partial taken on the S&P 500. So back in profit for the day, all profit locked in, all trailers locked in. And about to take partial on the NASDAQ. I'm going to move that up just to make sure it does take a partial, because I don't trust this market at the moment. And I want back this morning's losses. Afternoon, Ismet. Afternoon, Mumo. What is your meaning on gold? Do you think we will see 31.65 level and lower? I think we'll be trading on gold. I don't know. I mean, I don't trade gold, but there was a forecast on this morning. Okay, so analysts expect the average annual gold price to be above 3,000. So expected to average 3,065 this year and 3,000 in 2026. So 3,065 is down here. Yeah, as an average. Okay, so this is this year. Beginning of the chart. So this is the beginning of 2025. Yeah. So there's our low. There's our high. We're 4 months coming on 5 months into the year. So if you think about it, what they're saying is that's probably the high. And what we're going to do is just move around here for the rest of the year. So who knows? But basically, this is an inverse US dollar pair. So it's the same as the pound US dollar, the euro US dollar, the US dollar CAD. It's basically a cross with the US dollar. So if the US dollar rallies, this goes down. If the US dollar drops, this goes up. So you're trading basically the US dollar. Aussie dollar Swiss ADR. Again, ADR hit there, so you can drop down, look for reversal alert will be here. You'll be buying straight into propulsion though. So we are at ADR to the downside. Be careful of these moves. This is Swiss franc. Yeah, there's a lot of movement coming in the Swiss franc. Look at the spread on that. So there looks like a bit of a safe haven run going on as well at the minute. Pound Swiss ADR. The pound is dropping dramatically. So be careful with these markets not liking any news today. 3 o'clock, we just had the news hit for PCE. 0, so negative US dollar again. Pending home sales, don't need to worry about. So yeah, PCE, another negative. So Trump's crashed the market. Trump's crashed the dollar. All the news is negative. Should we buy the dollar or sell the dollar at the moment? Inquiring minds want to know. So yeah, there you go. But yeah, oil, gold, I don't know. It's a commodity. It's also a safe haven. So if things are going bad, gold goes up. Yeah. But gold also goes up a lot because the dollar's going down. When things are going bad, the dollar tends to drop, which will automatically shift this long anyway. But this is a safe haven along with the Swiss franc and the yen. So when you have extreme fear or fear in the stock markets, assets are pulled out of stock sectors and placed into safe havens, Swiss, yen, gold. So gold will always benefit when stock markets drop. So this is, again, inverse to stock markets. So when the stock markets rally, this tends to drop. When the stock markets drop, this tends to rally. So there's a lot of things that go on with gold. But if you're going to position trade it or swing trade it, you don't want to go long on it because it costs an absolute fortune. It costs $30 for me to hold this long. They charge me $3 to short it. but I wouldn't want to be shorting this at the moment against the dollar because it means we've got to have a very strong dollar. Okay, so completely out the NASDAQ, completely out the S&P. I'm flat, 1,400 profit. Right, so out on the US indices. So just stopped out on the second half of that. Partial taken and stopped out on the second half. Big rally coming on the news there. Look, the PCE index, big spike, not big spike, but spike up out of the Dow. So nice, quick, fast, easy trades on the US session this afternoon, which paid for this morning on the DAX. So the DAX this morning had two stop outs. Long break, stopped out, and then we immediately broke short, stopped out. We just basically sat around all day and went absolutely nowhere. FTSE this morning, short, stopped out somewhere there. So that was the 5-minute ORB and a 15-minute ORB this morning. This one didn't stop me out, actually. Had the EA set up wrong, but it would have stopped me out anyway. Look. Or it might not have done, actually. So I set the stop on this at 10% of ADR this morning instead of 15 by accident because I was mucking about the settings yesterday. So my actual stop, you can see there that got triggered. That was where price traded to. They spread me to get my stop. But it would have been hit by price later on in the afternoon, in the morning anyway. So obviously it would have worked out if I'd have put a 15% stop on it, which would have been somewhere. So that's 5, 10. So the stop would have been somewhere around there. So unless they spread me out here that far, I would have survived that. But it's my error putting the wrong stop in this morning. Obviously DAX, nothing I could do with. So there we go. So there's the US indices done. Done, dusted. Money in the bank. So reset risk back to normal because the profit's in. There is obviously the long opportunities today as well. So if for any reason we get a complete reversal on this, the 5-minute ORBs today are session high. So if it does decide to pull its way back up, I will take those longs as well. But I will be monitoring this and I may not do. I'll decide later. I don't think we're going to get back there because Trump's just, well, not Trump, but the news has just killed the market again, hasn't it? So don't look like we're coming back from that. Although it is an ADR hit. So we have broken that low and that low. So we've closed basically, we've closed below the weekly support, which is here, and we've closed below Friday's support. So this is the propulsion move from that accumulation at the open of Thursday. So this is where the last batch of buyers were sitting on Thursday. So there is a possibility this may get bought up. But obviously that news has really changed the market. So let's see. Really close to target. That Aussie US, I'm just going to take a partial 50% off of that. To stick it in the bank just in case we pull back, because we are, if you look at where we've just tapped into here. So that was the last bear move before we broke that propulsion. So this whole candlestick is propulsion, is buyers. So I'm just cautious at the minute because it's such a big drop today. The whole session today has been sellers. Just taking 50% of it off, and then let the 50% run to target, which will be the low of the week. Afternoon, noob. John, if you're entering manually, can you not just as well use the Zone Trader EA? Yeah, can do. The Zone Trader EA, I need to manually reset the zones all the time, which is fine. But I prefer the Position Trader EA because I don't have to muck about with zones. I obviously I'm in front of the charts all day, every day, so I don't have a problem taking manuals as well. So I did on the pound New Zealand actually this morning. So that second entry there is just over half an ADR. And I saw the price action this morning. Look, obviously, as soon as I got in, it pushed back up again. But I saw the price action rejecting this morning. So I took a manual with the buttons this morning as well. So that was yesterday's high. We had that 3-bar reversal go in at the high, which went sideways. We double topped it yesterday. We opened up this morning. By the time I saw price today, which was when I woke up somewhere around here, it was down here. Yeah. So I got in because I saw that pattern reversal. But it is in propulsion. So they are rebuying this level. So at the moment, they can't break higher. Again, we've got a quadruple top gone in here. So it's still looking really nice and bearish. That reversal alert's not got in though. So it's a case of as soon as that reversal goes in, and as soon as we break the low of the day, we'll probably flush. But that trade was taken manually. The EA next entry on that was going to be somewhere above those highs. But from a zone trader perspective, if I was going to draw a zone on this, I would draw the zone up here. And I would exactly where my next short is, look. So the position trader EA is going to automatically take a new short at that level anyway, look, next short. That's where I would draw the zone because that is the last propulsion move that broke that low before we accumulated and carried on that drop. But this is not because of any other reason than tariffs. So whether there are still sellers there or not, I don't know. I'm not as convinced at the moment that support resistance is going to be as effective because all the recent levels we've got for the last 2 weeks are to do with utter fear and dumping currency and buying other currency in panic buying and selling, isn't it? So this is all kind of not rubbish price action, but not normal price action. This has become normalized down here. So for me, that double top there is, which is the previous monthly high, is probably the level I would look at for resistance and kind of ignore all of this because this is just panic buying and panic selling. So if you want to use the zone trader EA, obviously, zone wherever you want to, but it's the same principle. All the zone trader EA is, it was designed in the members stream. We created it as a tool to help train your eye to support resistance. So the whole purpose of using the zone trader EA was to use it. I haven't got it in here. I haven't got it in this terminal. In my other terminal. Was to use it in the strategy tester. I've got another terminal. As a tool, basically, to train your eye. So the best way to learn price action and learn market structure is to put in the hours in the charts. If you put the hours in the charts in the strategy tester, you're accelerating your learning curve. So it turned into a product, if you like, because people wanted it to actually trade with, because it's how I used to trade. It's the way I used to trade manually. I used to set alerts at specific points. So basically just set an alert. And as soon as I got alerted, I would look at the chart and then I would wait for a reversal alert. So the zone trader is kind of a natural progression from that. points is probably the best to use. Hourly. So it's just to help people identify support resistance areas, draw them as zones, and then just wait and see what happens. And that's, you know, when you see this flying past in here, way too fast. In, out, done. Long, close. That's extend, close. There we go. So nice, 2 easy trades. Didn't really have to do anything. But what it's done is it's reacted at that resistance, not that one. So I thought that's probably the first one to go for. That's the backup. That's the backup. Got to there, reacted at that one, end pattern reversal, straight back down. Where did it go to? Previous area of support resistance. They rebought the last area they bought. Price will continue to do that over and over again because that's what it does. Short, zoom out, find the next zone. There isn't one, so let's just place a new one up here because it's higher than the next distance. And we'll wait. If we're going to get out, let's get out at the previous support. There we go. Flip long. Next entry long would have been there. Second entry averaged in. Oh, that's the end of the test period. But obviously it was on its way back up to my target. Easy, isn't it? Trading. But use that in the tester. That's the whole point of the Zone Trader EA, is for training you how to use support resistance. And it's very simple. You draw it. If it works out, you learn. If it doesn't work out, you learn. You place a new one and you go, it didn't work at that one. It worked at the other one. It kind of trains you to understand that you have no idea where price is going. You do have an idea where price is going, but you have no control and no idea where it's going to turn. It will turn where it turns because of banks and institutional order flow. So what you do is you go and look at areas you think it's going to move to. If you're wrong, you look at the next one, because if you're wrong at that one, the next one's likely to be right. If you're wrong at the second one, the next one's likely to be right. And it will continue to do that until at some point you're right. You just get out at the next level. Wonder if they put Trump, in the risk register. Or what? What sort of risk register is that? Morning was check. Afternoon even. Afternoon Elevated Trading Hub. Nice, I'm keeping active. Look, my watch thinks I'm keeping active. That's because I'm being articulate. So good exits today. So market's pulling back. Watch this area here if you want to get in short. So that'd be your next leg down. All the way up there on the Dow. NASDAQ is at resistance now. So we're back inside the initial opening range today. So if we are going to hold short, this is where you would expect the sellers to kick in and drive the second leg of this move down. If that's it, and this is just a new spike, we could come all the way back up. I'm just going to reduce risk on this. I'm going to take this NASDAQ off. I don't really want to I took a loss yesterday of 700. I took a loss of 160 the day before. So I don't really want to jeopardize this too much today. So I'm going to make an executive decision and I'm going to close those out just so I got the loss, the profit banked, basically. Just in case we get some weird spiky price action that just triggers an entry and then immediately stops it out, because obviously Trump's awake. It's like playing hide and seek, isn't it? You take a trade, you go like that, and you hope Trump doesn't spot you or say something. And then if you've made it to TP, by the time he says something, you can come out of hiding. Risk to the US economy? Yeah, well, that's a given, isn't it? Afternoon input, DJ? Yeah, I mean, he's... I think a liability is kind of being kind at the moment, isn't it? But this is what I mean. I think it's going to... With all politics, with all elections, there's with all businesses as well, there's a front man, but there's people behind the scenes pulling the strings to make the front man talk with most leaders in most businesses and most countries. So, Mark Carney, for example, has just taken over the reins of Canada. He's sitting down, as most logical people would, going, right, you're in charge of transport, you're in charge of education, you're in charge of the bank, and you're in charge of commerce. What do you guys all think? Whereas in America at the moment, the way it works is, this is what we're going to do. What do you guys think? Don't agree with any of that. Go and get that happening. That's the way it's working at the moment in the US, isn't it? At some point, there will be enough people turning around and saying stop to tip him over the edge, basically, and either him make a stupid mistake, which means he's got to backpedal, or they will convince him to backpedal on what he's doing, because there is no future for the US at the minute. The risk analysts in the White House and in the Fed will be sitting down going, someone's got to pull the plug, because they all have families, they all have jobs, they all have income and expenditure, and they can all see what's going to be happening to their prices as well. The news today is a pretty stark warning, isn't it? So you've just entered into the first period of recession in the US. Your GDP has contracted. Not just contracted, you are at 2.4 expansion and you are now at 0.3 contraction, shrinking. Yeah. What he's saying today is, don't worry about that. The tariffs hasn't kicked in yet. No one's actually put any evidence in place at the moment that says these tariffs are going to have any positive effect on the dollar or the US economy. The only person is him. He has said it's going to be brilliant. He has said there's businesses flocking to the US in their droves. Where's the proof? If that's the case, we need to know about it. The economists are going to need to know about it. And until you can provide that information, no one's going to do anything but sell the stock markets and sell the dollar. Everybody else knows this and can see this. I'm not the only person saying this. Economists around the world are saying this. Bloomberg, go and look at the Bloomberg channel. They're all like, not quite sure, but we're not doing what he's doing. It doesn't take a rocket science, does it? Really? But anyway, we'll see what happens. This is a new situation for everybody. Euro pound pulling back quite dramatically there. That's probably pound strength starting to trickle in. A little bit of euro weakness coming in as well. So guys who were in the live room this morning, not a good one, is it? But it's not a bad one. I'd call that a B. Is there anybody here that was in the live room this morning? I don't think anybody is. Chris, you went in the live room this morning, were you? I can't remember who was there this morning. But right now, we've got 39 minutes left on that candle. I'd call that maybe a B. Certainly not an A, is it? But B. Sure. So lower time frame, M15, M5, you'll have a reversal alert on that one. Just about to kick in there. Look, M15, there's your reversal alert triggering, M pattern. And M5, you've had it already. Yeah, so watch that propulsion gap for pullback. Afternoon, SkyPoint. How much is live trading room? You're in it. It's free. This is the live trading room. I'm trading. I'm alive. You're there. Do you mean the members? The members, I can't remember what the members costs. I'll type. I do. It's not really VIP. It's there. Go and click on membership there. There you go. That gives you access to the, at the moment it's weekly members streams, but there's all the back catalogue. If you join as a member, what you want to do is go all the way back to the beginning, which was 7 months ago. This is all the educational content where it starts, all the educational content on robustness testing, strategy testing, development of strategies, candlestick patterns, levels, We look at lots of strategy development and back testing, price action strategies, blah, blah, blah. Just basically everything I think you need to know about trading is all there. You can watch that at your leisure, and it will be at your leisure because each of the live streams is between 1 to 3 hours long. But, you know, pick what you want to see. And there's some just general sessions in there like this one where I didn't have anything to talk about. But this morning we did a really good session on variations of 3-bar reversal patterns. I'm going to be building an EA in the members stream to back test and robustness test 3-bar reversal variations and see if we can come up with an ABC style grading system for 3-bar reversals. So that's what I was saying. This one here is not an A, but it's probably if it closes down below that low, I'd say it's maybe a B. If that wick was higher than that and that wick wasn't there, I'd say it's an A. But it's not. But it is a new high, and the market is reversing. But we have just had news. We are actually coming into the propulsion gap highs as well on this. Look, really good short, but it's choppy as hell. So you're probably looking, if you get into that with a risk reward, if you're using a risk reward ratio on this. Did I set my fib up to be risk reward? No, I didn't. So if you're getting into this at the moment, loads of room. So if that's going to hold, I would expect you to look at getting a new low. So this is high double top. You've got lower lows going in. So if this holds here, that's a lovely 3-bar reversal. Well, it's not actually because it wasn't very bearish, but you've got that entry there. So you've got a 4R back down into this propulsion gap. Good looking short. The candlestick's not closed yet. You need to wait for price action to close before entering. Unless you're getting in on a reversal on a low time frame, in which case you're about to get one in 5 minutes. But right now it's not signaling. It will do if that closes below the rectangle there. Right, that's really all I've got for today. Obviously, nice, clean, easy money today. Thankfully, it's taken a while to get a day in. We've had a bit of a rough week, a couple of weeks actually, with ORB because it's been just so whippy and sideways. Stopped out over and over again. You can see stop out, stop out, stop out, stop out, stop out, stop out. Yeah, 3 days straight. Losers. And then, you know, this is what it's all about. Payday. So that there with the risk recovery, the loss recovery system has just recovered 2 days worth of losses very quickly and easily. It's exactly what I said in the live room this morning. I said, you know, we've had a rough time of it. We just, what was it in the Discord channel this morning? We're just waiting for that one day where we get 3 clean breaks because they're all in sync at the moment. The price action is virtually identical on all indexes. We just need one day where we get an aggressive break and that'll be it. We'll be paid. There it is. But just kind of recouping loss at the minute, so which is good. That's what we want. Right, I'll leave it there. Anything you need, let me know. I will be. They definitely going to get a reversal on that Euro New Zealand. But I'll say definitely. You got 3 minutes. So yeah, I'll be back on Friday morning at 8 o'clock. We'll do a review of the week. Is the new version up? No. I haven't had a chance to get it done. The video. I started the video yesterday and I got interrupted. I've got a clear day tomorrow. So fingers crossed, I'm going to get a video up tomorrow. I think what I'll probably do tomorrow is, even if the video is crap and I am making a mess of the video, I will just get something up that goes through the inputs and how it works, so that I can release it. And then obviously all the questions are answered. I've still got to rewrite the manual as well for it, the input manual. But yeah, I'm going to try and get that done tomorrow. But I've been trying for 5 days now to get this thing done. And I've just had one of those weeks where just life has got in the way, basically. And then my son, who I think is still at college at the moment, said he wants to go paddleboarding tomorrow because the weather's going to be phenomenal. So I was like, one day I've got, but I do really want to go paddleboarding as well. So I'm torn between the sea and a manual writing. So what would you do? Would you go paddleboarding, or would you write a manual and record a video about how an EA operates? Paddleboarding, writing a manual. Maybe half and half. So I promise I will get it done. Paddleboarding. See, Peter's going paddleboarding, and Peter's the one that wants it. Yeah, so I made a real big mistake last year writing a manual. Oh yeah, I knew there'd be one. I put the paddleboards away last year after we'd been out, and it was still really nice weather, and we were expecting to go out paddleboarding again. And I thought, oh, I'm going to use them next weekend. So I didn't wash them down. And if anybody has been doing any water sports, you'll know that sea salt and rubber do not go together when they are stuck for a long period of time. It basically rots. So I completely forgot to clean them at the end of last season. So this is the first time we're going to get them out tomorrow. And when I pump them up, I think there's a high probability of an explosion. So if I'm not here on Friday, you know why. A paddleboard blew up in my face. But fingers crossed, they're expensive paddleboards, so I'm hoping they've kind of done a better job. We'll see. So yeah, I will get it done. I want to get it off my list, believe me, because I've been using this for weeks now. So I've been fine tuning it. So I just want to get the video done and the manual written so I can get it out there. Paddleboarding is special when your kids still want to do stuff with you. Yes, I must be a great dad. I don't know. Everybody thinks they are, don't they? But one of those things, isn't it? Fatherhood. You don't get a manual. You're going to teach your kids to trade? Already done that. I taught my eldest 2 years ago. I did it on stream, actually. I didn't teach him on stream, but I said on stream. I just taught him to trade. And I basically told him to use, I think I was saying, use the market reverse alerts and to go, there's your reverse alert on M15 on Euro New Zealand. That is that 3-bar reversal that is going in now. It's not closed yet on the hourly, but 30-minute. Bit Christmas tree, but yeah, new close, new low. But yeah, I said to him, I put MT4 on his PC. And I said, I can't remember if it was M5 or M1 I said to go on. Beautiful M pattern there, look. When you get a reverse alert, press the buy button. Just using literally those. And when you get a sell, press the, when you get the other opposite side, press the sell button. Or when you get the opposite signal, get out and go the other way. I came back and he was sitting in profit on his P&L. Yeah, I think it was about 11 at the time, maybe 12. Something like that. Shows how easy it is. He'd never seen a chart in his life, and I basically told him to press a buy or a sell button based on a block being drawn. He's into Roblox, so obviously that bit made sense. And Minecraft. So there you go. When Steve draws a orange block, press the button in the direction of the candlestick that just closed. That's all he did. Very simple. Obviously, there was a lot of luck involved, but if you can teach an 11-year-old how to do it, surely everyone else can grab it, can't they? Must be easy. How's he doing? Oh, he doesn't trade anymore. He hasn't traded. He's just he's at college, so a bit older now. Not interested in trading, which, to be honest, I'm quite glad about. You need stability when you're young and starting out, and this is what makes me cross about all these 18-year-olds and 20-year-olds who are on YouTube pretending to be trading gurus. You need many years' experience in this thing to actually do it successfully for a period of time and be consistent. 18-year-olds haven't got enough life experience, let alone trading experience. Not dissing young people doing well, but it's a lot of luck. So lovely rejection there out of that propulsion gap. Look, I'm not taking it at the moment because it's not on my list, and I already have exposure on New Zealand dollar. So I'd kind of be hedging myself if I took a short on the Euro New Zealand, because I'm actually long Euro, short New Zealand at the moment. So there's no point in me taking that one. Right, I'll let you go. I'm back Monday, 8 o'clock, same time. Look at what's happened this week. Oh, that's what I was going to do quickly before I went. Just recap of the news coming up. So just be aware that tomorrow morning, Bank of Japan, if that doesn't come out at 0.5, we are going to get a big move on the yen, which will undo the Swiss moves as well. So be prepared for some volatility tomorrow morning. If they come out at 0.5 and the press conference, which is really always tentative, hasn't got any clue as to what they're going to do in the future with it, we probably won't get any movement. We will probably get some whipsawing though. So expect potentially half an ADR, 3/4 of an ADR, maybe even an ADR's of movement when that comes out tomorrow morning. It's a bank holiday in Europe tomorrow, and we've got unemployment claims and PMIs. And again, the PMIs forecast to be dropping. Purchasing Managers Index down. Consumer Price Index down. GDP down. Who knows? I don't think that's going down for long because it's the Purchasing Managers Index and stuff's getting more expensive. So there's potential for a shock there. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But be aware you got that tomorrow. And then I'm back on Friday, ready for non-farm payroll. Friday afternoon session is going to be moved to 1:30 so we can trade while non-farm payroll is coming out. Okay. And I'm not here, as Chucks has just said, on Monday because it's a bank holiday on Monday. Why is it not shown as a bank holiday for the UK? It is a bank holiday on Monday. That's weird. So yeah, I'm not here Monday, but I don't know why it's not showing as a bank holiday. It's a bank holiday in the UK on Monday. I think it's a bank holiday pretty much everywhere, isn't it? I don't know, but it definitely is a bank holiday. Well, I'm hoping it's a bank holiday because I'm going to a motor show on Monday. So it's a bank holiday. I'm not here. So bear that in mind as well. I'm not here on Monday. That's really weird. It's not showing. I've got the right weekend, didn't I? Yeah. I'm not going mad. It is a bank holiday on Monday. They've obviously just missed that off. It's May Day, bank holiday, 5th. Anyway, well, I'm not here. I'm somewhere else. All right. So have a good day. If you need anything, I'll be in Discord, or if you want to contact me in Telegram. Other than that, back Friday morning and Friday afternoon, but we'll be back for non-farm payroll, not at 2:30. So just be aware of that. All right. I will see you then. Have a good day.